Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Penguin, aka Top Hat. So if you haven't seen this episode, well, you know, you know the drill. Stop the video, watch it, or if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen it, welcome. This episode starts off with the past. So we get to see exactly what happened to Penguin's brothers. Which is a huge thing here. So we kind of see how his mom was, how she was running their family. She was doing bookkeeping for the mob, and she was really trying to just make enough money for these kids to have anything. And the one thing we definitely see here in this episode is how Penguin loves his mother, and yet his mother loves all three children equally. And I know it might not seem that way based on some of how she was acting and stuff like that. But Penguin obviously has the brace on his leg, and he's, slowly learning how to use it properly, I guess the best way to phrase it, right? So we see him being jealous of his brothers and how, their mom stops everything to play with them, but won't stop to have a good time with him. Now, I don't think it necessarily was supposed to be like that or was meant to be that way, but that's definitely how Penguin saw it. So they decide, so they go down to pick up some stuff. We get to see exactly what their mother does, which when they drop off the book to the mobster, they give him money. They go play light tag in the sewer system, specifically the subway trolley, and we see them, running around trying to hide from Penguin. And they do so. They go to a place where Penguin isn't physically able to go easily. They go down the ladder, and so Penguin gets really mad with that, and he locks them in the drain area, which we find out rather quickly that that's how they die because it begins to rain. Penguin goes home. He says that his brothers were going to a movie, and then the brothers are never to be seen again. And obviously, we see more and more as it rains more and more, we hear them struggling even more to stay alive until we get to the point where we see the water completely coming out of all cracks of the area of the door, which means there's no way they had a chance to breathe and meant they died. And Penguin was smiling as a child while he saw that it was raining more and more. And he was a good liar too, because he told his mother, "Oh, I don't know. I think they were going to see Beetlejuice or something," which to me is hilarious. But we then move on. So we then have we see Sophia in the house. Actually, I don't even think we do see that. Penguin gets there and he's trying to celebrate with his mother, and he finds Vic with his head smacked open. Granted, he's alive, but he was hit with a crowbar. It's very clear and as day. Vic was knocked out completely. Um, Penguin gets him up and realizes that oh shoot, things have become really a problem. Vic tells him that Sophia came and got him. He looks outside and sees Carmine. No, Salvador. Sorry, Salvador outside, and he realizes oh no, they're screwed. So he tells Vic to get out of there and to go away. He'll take care of this himself. He's got to deal with this head on. So Vic gets out of there. Salvador starts beating Penguin up with way too much fun. We then hear Salvador call Sophia, who is making breakfast for Penguin's mom. And she explains, oh, don't worry, once you give Salvador everything, we'll kill you, and we might let her live. And he's like, no, I want to hear my mother. And he's like, that's not how this works. We're gonna, you told me the same thing, or you told me something similar, like, we're gentlemen and we should have a gentleman way of doing this. And he goes, so we're gonna take my word for it, like I took your word for it. So he then basically is told that he has to show them where the operation is immediately, or else it's not going to be pleasant for him or his mother. So they go down into the subway where they get into a huge fight. So basically, they start taking out Penguin's guys, or a couple of them, to prove their point. Penguin then gets is basically trying to get Salvador to break. So he goes, "Oh, you know what it smelled like before your wife turned to ash?" He goes, "I smelled burnt hair and flesh." He goes, "I wonder, did she have like a special type of hairspray just to really mess with Salvador?" And that's when he starts getting ready to just beat Penguin up. And that's when his guys shut off the lights. They begin to go into a brawl. Penguin and Salvador fight um, until Salvador legitimately has a heart attack and dies. And that's when Penguin and the rest of his crew take over, take out Salvador's guys, and basically state, "We got a big job to do. We still have one more thing to do, and we're going to need an army to take him out. I hope you guys are ready." And they're all cheering, excited, ready to help Penguin out. So in the Gigante home, we have the most interesting conversation between Sophia and Penguin's mother. This was by far showing how much Sophia wants to mess with her, but at the same time, she's not afraid to give it back to Sophia without a problem. And then Sophia's very much ready to kill this woman until she sees that she's broken. Specifically in the fact of like she obviously has some sort of dementia, where she's starts to freak out and talk about, especially when she brings up her children, the two that died. We begin to hear what she felt talking to a detective the night of or the day after her kids went missing, stating that it's raining, they're cold, they need to be found, and all that. And that's when Sophia's trying to get her back to reality, and that's when Penguin's mom slaps Sophia in the face right across, like you would not believe. And Sophia holds up her hand to stop the guards from doing anything to her, and she walks away. She realizes, and one thing she says to Sophia, which is, "Hey, by the way, you think you're different. You're doing the same thing. He's been playing this game longer than you've been alive, or longer than you have, sweetheart. And all you're doing is playing the same game, and he just does it better. He watched it and waited for all of you, and has been able to take you all out without a problem. And he's going to do that right now, right here." And then her psychiatrist comes in and states that there's a problem. The little girl, her cousin's kid, is now claiming that she saw something, and that's when Sophia goes down to visit her. So she goes down to visit her and talks to this girl and realizes that this girl is terrified. And it was during her interaction that we really get to see Sophia realizing the damage that she's caused this girl to basically claw herself, get all these scratches and everything else, and realizing, oh no, she's just as bad as everyone else. And Penguin's mother is absolutely correct. She then gets a penguin. She then gets a phone call from Salvador, and it's obviously Penguin stating, "Hey, I'm still alive, and you know what? I hope you're ready for a real fight. You better give me. I'll give you the drugs if you give me my mother back." And Sophia's like, "Fine, sure, I'm done." And she kind of realizes that she can't do things the same way everyone else has, and she's realizing that more than ever. So what she does is she's calling um, Penguin up and states, "Hey, um, I'm ready to make the deal." So a car comes in to his facility, and what happens there is he's now having the conversation with her, saying, "Where's my mother? Was this? Was that?" And she begins to explain to him, "You know what? Your mother was right. I got to give her credit. She taught me something that I wasn't prepared for. That I've been playing this game just like everyone else, and I need to change the game." And that's when he starts freaking out. The driver runs away. He lifts up the back seat of the trunk, realizes it's a bomb. He goes to run away, and a massive explosion breaks out. Dust, rubble everywhere. He then goes out to the surface, begins to walk away. That's when a dirty cop comes by, hits him over the face with a crowbar, and before doing so, or while doing so, says Sophia sends her love, and knocks him out and brings him away. And that's the end of the episode. So what we have here is, we also have a little bit of a flashback of Penguin and his mother, and how she breaks out of her depression and is basically like, hey, you know what? I need you to help me out. Help me get to where I need to be. And you're going to do that for me, Oswald. And we get to see that. So that story was not false. But we find out Penguin obviously killed his brothers. So that was really tough to watch. Granted, they didn't go graphically into it, but it was still just depressing as all heck. But obviously, having some technical issues. That's why there's now a different camera being used here. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. I mean, obviously, the next episode is the series finale, or season finale. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next because this is supposed to lead directly to Batman 2. And I'm very curious to see where that's going to go. Are we going to be introduced to somebody? Is one of them going to have a major role to play? What's going on? But either way, I thought this episode was well done. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night. Bye bye.